Former Invincible and World Cup winners turned to politics after their football career. Some became actual presidents of their country. For more timely infos, please subscribe, watch and like our page. 10. Cuauhtemoc Blanco and political career 2015 to present. One of Mexico's greatest ever footballers, Cuauhtemoc Blanco won 119 caps for El Tri between 1995 and 2014 and scored 38 goals. The forward, who could also play as an attacking midfielder, was a club legend for Club America in his home country and in a domestic career that saw him feature for a number of other clubs like Chicago Fire and briefly Real Valladolid. To name just two, he made 601 appearances and scored 220 goals. While his career came to an end, Blanco registered as a Social Democratic Party candidate in January 2015, and was elected as municipal president of Cuernavaca. Later, he joined the Social Encounter Party and became state governor of Morelos in 2018. As of the time of writing, it is a position he still holds to this day. 9. Sol Campbell and political career 2015 to 2016. As if turning out for both Spurs and Arsenal wasn't divisive enough, Sol Campbell also had a very brief dabble in British politics. The legendary England defender of 73 caps bizarrely revealed in 2014 that he was considering running for office with the Conservatives. It began after his retirement, when he became increasingly vocal, criticizing Ed Miliband's proposals for a mansion tax on properties worth over £2 million, calling it madness. Convinced his involvement would help secure the black vote for the Tories, in 2015, he put himself forward in the race for the Conservative nomination for Mayor of London. However, he failed to make the shortlist. He also took part in a Vote Leave rally ahead of the Brexit ballot in 2016. While mansion-loving man of the people, Campbell, has said some questionable things, it must be noted that he makes up for it with his extensive charity work. Before all this kicked off, in 2009, he launched his charity, Kids Go Live, allowing inner-city children to see a variety of live sporting events such as Wimbledon, the Olympic Games and rugby internationals. 8. Zico and political career span, 1990 to 2015. One of the greatest players in Brazil's history, free-kick maestro Zico was part of the memorable 1982 World Cup team, and the former playmaker gained legendary status at Flamengo, as well as cult appreciation for stints in Italy and Japan. What could be deemed even more cult, however, is his stint in politics sandwiched between his second Flamengo stint and that time in Asia. Zico became Brazil's sports minister in 1990. After introducing a number of reforms to improve football in the country, he became frustrated when a parliamentary vote was persistently delayed. He left his post just a year later and instead found more joy in administrative roles at his former clubs. He was Kashima Antlers director, before moving back to Flamengo for the same role. However, he resigned after 5 months due to disagreements with the board. June 2015 saw Zico officially announce he would run for the FIFA presidency role. He was unsuccessful though, and in August 2018, returned to the Antlers board where he currently remains. 7. Lilian Thuram and political career 2005 to present. Lilian Thuram racked up 142 caps for France between 1994 and 2008 and was a key member of the teams which won the 1998 World Cup and the European Championship 2 years later. In addition to his fine international pedigree, the Guadeloupe-born Frenchman played out an impressive club career with Monaco, Parma, Juventus and Barcelona. During the French riots in 2005, Thuram lashed out at future President Nicolas Sarkozy after the minister spoke of the scum living in low-income housing. Intriguingly, the defender was later offered a job as diversity minister by Sarkozy, yet turned it down. Since then, he has persistently continued to speak about racism and took part in a march in favor of same-sex marriage in 2013. 6. Hakan Şükür and political career 2011 to present. One of Turkey's greatest ever players, forward Hakan Şükür netted 51 goals in 112 appearances for his national team and is Galatasaray's all-time top scorer with 288 goals. Şüker won a seat in the Turkish parliament in 2011 as a member of the ruling Justice and Development Party. He resigned from the party in December 2013, but continued as an independent MP. Now, despite legendary status, in 2016, Şüker learned of the regime's bitter censorship the hard way, as he was forced into exile after he was accused of insulting President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Twitter. With this alleged insult, he was also to be deemed part of the Gülen movement, which is designated as a terrorist organization in Turkey. Such was the fall from grace in his homeland. An arrest warrant still stands for the now USA resident. Additionally, July 2017 saw a decree issued stating that all medals awarded to the former striker were to be revoked. 5. Socrates and political career 1978 to 2011. While his elegant midfield exploits for Brazil and a host of clubs in his homeland earned Socrates a great following as a player, his additional medical degree and political awareness gained him the nickname Dr. Socrates. Easily often recognizable for his beard and headband, Socrates became the symbol of cool for a whole generation of football supporters, but also took that beyond aesthetics. During his time at Corinthians, Socrates co-founded the Corinthians Democracy movement, in opposition to the then-ruling Brazilian military government. He and his teammates protested against the regime's treatment of footballers, and showed support to the wider movement by wearing shirts with "Democracia" written on them during games. Moreover, he spoke out in support of Direitos Já, free elections now, a popular movement that called for direct presidential elections and even hinged a move to Italy on it if things didn't change. Socrates was an excellent example of a star using his following to great effect. In 2022, France Football gave out the first edition of the Socrates Award, a synonymous tribute given to players who had exhibited great humanitarian work. 4. Pelé and political career 1994 to 2022. Ultimately regarded by many as the greatest footballer of all time, Pelé is the only player in history to win 3 World Cups. While his eternal glory was prevalent in football, of course, the former Santos man didn't stop there, and used his influence to impact on a wider scale. Heavily involved in politics and social issues after his retirement, the legendary forward worked as a UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador and a UN Ambassador for Ecology and the Environment. Later, he was Brazil's Extraordinary Minister for Sport, and a piece of legislation against corruption in Brazilian sport, the Pelé Law, was even named after him. Furthermore, Pelé notably appeared at the 2006 World Economic Forum in Davos, and spoke on the subject titled, "Can a Ball Change the World?" Can a Ball Change the World? The role of sports in development. His ambassadorial work found him further acclaim in 2012, as he was awarded an honorary degree from the University of Edinburgh for significant contribution to humanitarian and environmental causes, as well as his sporting achievements. 3. Romario and political career from 2010. Considered comfortably among Brazil's great strikers, as well as being a World Cup winner in 1994, Romario scored 55 goals in 70 appearances for his national team and played for the likes of Barcelona, PSV Eindhoven, Flamengo and Vasco da Gama in a long, fruitful career. After retirement, he went into politics in 2010, and following his election to the Chamber of Deputies, he lobbied against corruption in football and Brazil's hosting of the 2014 World Cup. Romario was then elected senator in 2014. In 2017, he switched parties to the centrist Podemos, and in 2021, he joined the Liberal Party. That same year, he endorsed then Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro and was critical of his rival, and current president, Lula. 2. Kaká Kaladza and political career. From 2012. Kaká Kaladza won 83 caps for his country and spent almost 9.5 years at AC Milan between 2001 and 2010. After retiring from football in 2012, he joined the Georgian Dream Democratic Georgia Party and became a member of parliament in October. Later, he was appointed Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy. That move was criticized due to his business interests in the sector. However, He continued to occupy both of these positions under the succeeding cabinet of Georgi Kvirikashvili until July 2017. He then resigned to run for the mayor of Tbilisi as a Georgian Dream candidate in the October 2017 election, which he won with 51.13%. In 2021, he was re-elected as the mayor of Tbilisi, gaining 55.61% of the vote in the second round of the election. He still holds the position to this day. 1. George Weah and political career 2005 to present, among the greatest African footballers of all time, as well as being Liberia's all-time best, George Weah won the Ballon d'Or in 1995 and was African Footballer of the Year in 1989 and 1995. He plied his goal-getting trade with AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain among others in his prolific 18-year professional football career, which ended in 2003. After his retirement, Weah announced his intentions to be Liberia president in 2005. He formed the Congress for Democratic Change and ran unsuccessfully for president in the 2005 election, losing to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in the second round of voting. In the 2011 election, he ran unsuccessfully for vice presidency. Weah was subsequently elected to the Senate of Liberia for Montserrado County in the 2014 election, before being elected president of Liberia in the 2017, defeating the incumbent vice president Joseph Boakai. He was sworn in on January 22, 2018 and served for 5 years until he was defeated in a rematch with Boakai in the 2023 election. Weah is the first African former professional footballer to become a head of state.